Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. A great goatee and a mystical sense of style. Being the guardian of our reality, he has some pretty powerful enemies. I'm Adam Andrews, this is Top 10 Nerd, and let's take a look at the top 10 most powerful Doctor Strange villains. Number 10, Nightmare. Nightmare is one of the Fear Lords, who rules over the Nightmare dimension, of the Dream dimension, of the Splinter dimensions, of the Dark dimensions. Nightmare rules over the Nightmare dimension, which is where people go when they have nightmares. Let's just leave it at that. He is a Fear Lord, one of these guys, and he first appeared in Strange Tales 110, which is also the first appearance of Stephen Strange. So if you thought we were not covering Nightmare, you thought wrong. In the follow-up Doctor Strange story, the world is destroyed, and Doctor Strange goes to seek the help of Eternity, who is the physical embodiment of the Marvel Universe, only to find Nightmare captured Eternity in the Dream dimension and subjected him to horrible dreams. Because Nightmare's powers are fueled by humans, it took a battle between the Ancient One and Eternity to convince Eternity to reform the Earth and human civilization. That's how scary nightmares are! He shows up occasionally, tormenting heroes in their dreams, and leaving his realm to depower him so that heroes can actually defeat him. Usually, it's Doctor Strange doing the hard work inside other people's dreams though. Number 9, Kulan Gath. Kulan Gath was a sorcerer who lived in Earth's Hyborian era, aka the time of Conan the Barbarian. He actually isn't the original Kulan Gath though. Well, he is, and he isn't. See, Kulan had a slave who poisoned him and assumed his identity. When this Kulan Gath set out the training of the then Sorcerer Supreme, Mekri Ra, he was refused. He responded by murdering and consuming the Sorcerer Supreme, gaining his power. As an enemy of Conan, Kulan was eventually beheaded by the Barbarian, but not before he had become immortal by putting his essence in a magical amulet. That's a Horcrux! After the amulet had made its way to Manhattan in the modern era, it ended up in the hands of a mugger who donned the amulet, allowing Kulan Gath to possess and transform the body of the mugger. Then, he transformed Manhattan into a replica of the time he came from, manipulated the minds of everyone there, and took control of the minds of the Avengers, X-Men, New Mutants, and Morlocks to hunt down Spider-Man. It took the combined powers of Doctor Strange and the mutant magic to change time so that the mugger was killed by Nimrod instead. You know you're a problem when people just go back in time to take you out. Number 8, Loki. At this point, I'm pretty sure everyone and their mom has heard of the god of mischief, Loki. If not from the MCU, then at least from the actual Norse mythology. So I'm not gonna go into a huge backstory spiel, but do you know how actually powerful Loki is? Obviously he is a god, and the number of benefits that come with that title are, well, he doesn't really need a plan, let's just say that. He is super strong, super durable, super fast, he's got a healing factor, and he lives for a hell of a long time. But more than that, Loki himself is an extremely powerful sorcerer. So powerful in fact that Loki even recently took on the role of Sorcerer Supreme through a little of his trickster ways. Let me tell you, it took Stephen Strange harnessing the full power of the World Tree Yggdrasil, plus the strength of the Sentry, and more prominently the Void, which is capable of destroying Asgard and has even killed Loki in the past, for Doctor Strange to get the mantle back. Needless to say, Loki is an extremely powerful villain for most characters in the Marvel Universe, but as a sorcerer, he is a pain in the backside of our Sorcerer Supreme. Number 7, Baron Mordo. You know that guy who is basically Stephen Strange's sidekick in the first movie? Yeah, that guy. That's Mordo. So Mordo was born in Transylvania, basically as a means of another sorcerer, this dude, gaining power. And when that all went kaput, Mordo was trained in the ways of black magic. At the age of 30, he went to Tibet to find and study with the Ancient One, and it is here that he eventually met our lovely boy Stephen. Mordo didn't really dig Strange though, and when Stephen walked in on Mordo doing some nefarious planning to attack his master, Mordo cast a spell to stop Stephen from warning Baldy. He's the bad guy though, and this is the origin story of Doctor Strange, so you can imagine how it didn't go too well for him. Stephen became the Sorcerer Supreme, and Mordo left, continuing his studies of dark magic on his own time. He has always been a long-time rival to Strange and the Ancient One, causing all kinds of mischievous activity, helping other villains like Dormammu, and joining multiple different mystic teams. As another powerful sorcerer, he has many abilities and spells equal to Doctor Strange, except he's got a fair dose of the old black magic, which is always a problem for bad guys. I'm super excited to see what part he plays in the Multiverse of Madness, especially with that hair. Damn, boy! Number 6, Doctor Doom. He's got Arguably the best lines in Marvel Comics. He rules Latveria. His mother sacrificed her soul to the devil to make him a monarch. He's got a huge ego, but not for no reason. I don't think there is a hero that hasn't come into some kind of contact with Doctor Doom, although he is primarily a Fantastic Four villain. His use of magic, though, brings him into interaction with the Sorcerer Supreme so many times. Doctor Doom was introduced to sorcery through his mother, but received a huge power boost when he sacrificed the soul of his former lover, Valeria, to the Hazareth 3, who in return granted him magical armor made of Valeria's skin and flesh. Couldn't be me. With their power and his own sorcery, Doom can create mystical blasts and force fields, invoke entities, cast more powerful spells, reverse other spells, summon demonic hordes, teleport, travel to other dimensions, mystical ensnaring in portals, magically heal himself and others, banish others, time travel, absorb power, manipulate elements, perform telekinesis, nullify others' powers. And I think that's the list. But other than his sorcery, he is a super genius in the vein of Tony Stark, even eventually becoming Iron Man for a while. He's a master martial artist, he is at peak human condition, he's got great connections, he's super charismatic, and just plays the piano like a pro. His biggest weakness is that damn ego. But there was a point in time where he was known as God Emperor Doom, when he used the power of the Beyonders to create and rule over Battleworld, making the Sorcerer Supreme his sheriff. Like I said, he kind of has a right to possess such an ego. I mean, just look at him! Number 5, Mephisto. Mephisto has always been somewhat of a background character, jumping up here and again in Marvel Comics, but with no real huge events to his name, although he has been a part of a few. Mephisto is an extremely powerful extra-dimensional demon who very closely resembles the devil, but that may only be because it's the easiest way for him to use people's fears to his advantage. Mephisto's calling card is making bets, but they're never fair wagers. He always seems to get people in the wording of his deals. He'd probably make one hell of a lawyer. Usually Mephisto is asking people to put their souls, or the souls of those they love, on the line. Like with Doctor Doom's mother or Johnny Blaze, or most recently when he and Doctor Strange had a bet that people weren't all that bad in exchange for Doctor Strange's soul. That kind of thing. In his own dimension, the Hell Lord is basically omnipotent, although he can be defeated by someone who is smart enough or powerful enough. As a mystical entity, he's been a long-time foe of the Sorcerer Supreme, and his most recent story, involving a hotel he sprouted up in the middle of Las Vegas, is just so quirky and fun. Number 4, Umar. Umar of the Faltine is an insanely powerful being who is the sister of Dormammu. Umar ended up having a little bow-chicka-wow-wow with Dormammu's disciple Orani, which led to Umar giving birth. The sweet miracle of birth changed Umar, making her incapable of turning back into her Faltine form, depowering her significantly. This kinda drove her crazy and she lashed out at everyone, including her much more powerful brother, who banished her to a pocket dimension of the Dark Dimension. Quite the falling out. She loves her brother though, so when he's defeated by Doctor Strange and she is freed from her banishment, she goes on to try and avenge her brother. When she went to Earth to destroy it, however, she was defeated by another extremely powerful entity. But before we get on to that guy, I just wanted to say a quick thanks for watching from me and us here at Top 10 Nerd. I hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, why not give us a little like and tap that subscribe button? You are the reason we can do what we do. I love you guys. Alright, on to top 3. Number 3, Zom. When the aforementioned Umar invaded Earth and Doctor Strange could not defeat her, he needed some way to put her down. The Ancient One told Doctor Strange about the 20-foot, 18,000-pound interdimensional being Zom. Doctor Strange was like, okay, perfect, I'll just go summon him, which he did, and Zom easily defeated Umar. But now he's free, and no one wants to be put back in the mystical slammer, so he turns on the Doctor. Zom is so powerful that there was absolutely nothing Doctor Strange could do. Even if all the reality warping heroes and all the Avengers combined forces, they would not be able to defeat Zom. It took the power of the living tribunal, the literal judge of the multiverse, who had not even been seen in Marvel Comics before this point, to whisk him away. And then the tribunal scolded Doctor Strange for summoning a being who could literally wipe out the multiverse. He threatened to destroy Earth. It was that intense. Zom has no other goal than to completely annihilate and destroy everything, ever. Zom is one of the most powerful mystical entities in the entire Marvel universe, and the Living Tribunal is the only person who has been shown to stop him. Number 2, Dormammu. Dormammu is one of a race of extra-dimensional energy beings called the Faltine. Him and his sister Umar are both mutants of the species, seeking to consume matter instead of energy, which, along with killing their pops, caused them to be banished. They both traveled to the Dark Dimension and eventually took it over, but we know what happened to their relationship afterwards. Dormammu is the prime enemy of the Vishanti, the gods who give the Sorcerer Supreme his supreme merge, and is stated by Odin to be his equal in power. He is basically immortal and indestructible because of his energy body. He is more powerful than even the greatest sorcerers, including Doctor Strange and the Ancient One, and he can banish anyone from his domain, the Dark Dimension, but usually fights them for a bit of the old sport. He also has super strength, astral projection, matter transmutation, interdimensional teleportation, flight, can change his appearance and size. He can control the elements, time travel, and project and absorb energy. He's also immortal and has a regenerative healing factor. Dormammu first appeared in Strange Tales number 126 when he threatened the Ancient One with an invasion. The old guy sent Doctor Strange to the Dark Dimension to face Dormammu. The eventual fight set mindless ones loose, causing Dormammu and Strange to team up. Dormammu promised not to invade Earth, but he got all bitter and petty and has been one of Strange's most fearsome enemies since. He's faced almost everyone on this list. Number 1. Shuma Gorath. Shuma Gorath is one of the greatest of the leaders of the Old Ones, also known as the Many-Angled Ones, which are a race of nightmare fuel. Think Lovecraft, so tentacles and madness and all that jazz. It is the ruler of hundreds of dimensions and is said to be older than the universe itself. It has many mystical powers, including the ability to communicate and control others across dimensions, create mystical energy blasts from his eyes and tentacles, and can transmute things on a planetary scale. He can destroy multiple galaxies with his aura pressure, and can destroy realities by using his tentacles to create a ball of energy that he launches at realities. Does anyone else find the word tentacles funny? Anyone? They first fully premiered in Marvel Premiere Volume 1, Number 10. In the comic, they end up using the mind of the Ancient One, Doctor Strange's mentor, as a portal to the dimension of Earth. Doctor Strange goes into the Ancient One's mind to battle the defenses of Shuma Gorath and fight his way into its realm, only to realize that the only way to win is to kill the Ancient One. He's forced to do it, and it leads to him becoming the Sorcerer Supreme for the first time. And that concludes our list of the top 10 most powerful Doctor Strange baddies. Let me know in the comments what villain you want to see in the MCU. I'm Adam Andrews, this is Top 10 Nerd. Thanks for watching. Bye!